If you are someone interested in studying abroad and you see a position being advertised by a professor or an assistant professor like this or like this, and you are interested, how do you go by it? In this type of advertisement, the professor is calling that they have a position in their lab or they have a position in their department and they are interested in recruiting a master's student or a PhD student to come and work with them. Sometimes they put the project there and they describe the project to you in that post, be it on LinkedIn, Facebook, or even if you see that I posted it in my group or on my page. Today, I'm going to show you how to approach a professor if you are interested in the position they've advertised with a special formula that is used by almost everyone interested in studying abroad. Before we go forward, my name is Freeman and I talk about scholarships and study abroad opportunities. This is my YouTube page. If you are new here, please hit the subscribe button and then share it to others as well so that they can benefit from it. If you are also watching this, like this video, share this video to others to also benefit from the very important information that I'm giving today. So assuming you are on LinkedIn, you want to study, for example, a master's or a PhD in chemistry, and you see that I've posted that, oh, a professor is interested in hiring a student in the US or Canada or any other country, and they say that you should contact them if you are interested. How do you go by it? In today's episode, I am going to describe how you are able to contact a professor effectively and get a very good response most of the time with this formula. When you are interested in contacting a professor in this case, the first thing you need to do is to know about the projects that they are advertising about. So for example, if they are saying that they want a student to do a master's with them or a PhD with them in food chemistry, you have to first of all know about it and also be interested in it. So if you are interested and you've read about the project from the link they've shared, or you go online and search about them and read about their projects, then the next thing is to contact them. Now, most of the time they say you should contact them with your CV or motivation statement or transcript or certificates. Those ones are things that you will have to have, and you don't need to do a lot to have them. Now, the main thing is how to contact them. And the main way of contacting them is through what we call cold email. Cold email. These type of emails are very short, concise emails that you send to the professor whilst attaching your CV, your transcript, your certificates, and all other documents that are requested for. Now, in this episode, I am going to show you or teach you the main things to include in your cold email when you are approaching a professor. You don't just go in and start writing anything, because these professors receive thousands of emails, if not hundreds, from people around the world, and you will want to stand out so that when they read your email, they will be tempted, in most of the case, to contact you for the position. So today I'm going to share with you some tips on how to craft an email like this and send to a professor if you see a position that you are interested in, and some of the things to avoid. So now I'm going to first of all share with you the main tips and how the email structure is, and then I'll show you or tell you some of the things to avoid in the email. And finally, in this video, I'm going to show you a sample email that was sent out to a professor, and then a positive or a response that was gotten from the professor. So if you are interested in this, stick to the end of this video. If you have watched this far and you have not subscribed, please subscribe so that I'll give you the best information that you need. Now let's go to the main tips. So this type of email is structured in this way. So the subject of the email, you must write the prospective master's or MSc or PhD student, so depending on the advertisement. And then if the project name or the name of the project was mentioned in his post, you add it there. And then so you write it in the subject area, prospective master's or PhD student, maybe alkalizing or neutralizing chemicals in USA as a project. That's an example. Now, when you are done with that subject, you have to go to the formal introduction. Please don't write a general email where you write, "Dear sir or madam." That is not right. You have to first of all go to the person's profile in their university and get to know their name and their designation. If they are a professor, you use "Dear Professor Wengham." If they are a doctor, you say "Dear Doctor this." Use their last name, or you can also use the full name, but mostly the last name is very okay. Don't write a generic "Dear Sir" or "Madam." It's very bad. Make sure you know the person's name. It also shows that you are very interested in it and you have done a bit of research about them. Now, in the introduction part, you have to introduce yourself. So you tell them who you are briefly and mention your academic background and what you have achieved in your country or where you are studying, or especially in your bachelor's if you are going for a master's, or a master's if you are going for a PhD. Now, the second paragraph, you have to tell them why you are actually contacting them. So what is the aim of the email? You tell them, oh, you are writing because you saw their post that they are interested in hiring a student in masters in this, and that you have a background in that because you did a project in ABC, and then you tell them how the project went and your contribution to the project. But please make it concise. Tell them your research experience, how your research links to the project that they are doing, and how you are the best candidate for that. So if you tell them all that, you could also add that you actually were much more interested when you read papers that they published in ABC. So you could go to Google Scholar, check the papers they themselves have published, and then tell them, oh, you read their paper on this, and this is similar to what you did in your master's or your bachelor's, and therefore working with them would be an added advantage to advancing your academic career because they are particularly in the field you are interested in. So this is a very, very nice way of capturing their attention whilst proving to them that you actually are interested and have researched about them. Now, after saying all this, you have to thank them in the closing statement and tell them, oh, thank you very much for taking time to read my email. And you write that, oh, you have attached your CV, your transcripts as requested, and you wish to hear from them for further steps. So this is basically how you do it. It's very easy how to do it, but sounds sometimes very complicated. So now that we know what to include in the email, I'm going to tell you some of the things to avoid before we go to a sample email that I'll show you on the screen. Now, the things to avoid are very, very straight, sometimes very trivial, but very important. Make sure you don't send a generalized email to all professors. Assuming you see posts by about 4 professors and they all are working in similar fields or fields that you are interested in. Please don't take only one email and send it to them equally or send the same email to them. Make sure you tailor the email to each of the professors. So you don't send the same email to all of them. That way it might not seem that you are interested. So every professor, you should adapt the email to one particular subject or to fit the particular purpose that you are sending it to them for. Now, don't write without proper review. So don't just maybe write the email without reading it thoroughly and not going through about word spellings, spelling mistakes and construction mistakes and all that. Please review it multiple times before you send the email. Please, the next thing is, do not make the email very long, because the email is very long. Sometimes the professors find it boring to read. So please don't make the email very long. The last thing is, don't sound desperate. Don't sound like without that position you cannot live and all that. No. Please write to them expressing your interest and with your research experience, but don't sound so desperate to them, because if you do that, they might feel that you are not really interested in the project, but perhaps you are just interested in studying abroad or traveling abroad. Now that we know all the tips and the tricks and the things to include in our email and the things not to include in our email, then the main thing now is for me to take you to the screen to show you a sample of a cold email like that, and explain to you the things that I was talking about, and then also show you a reply that was gotten from a professor, and then how they proceeded in that email. So let's go to the screen. I'll show you the full details, and then we can take it from there. So before we go, this is my YouTube page where I talk about scholarships and study abroad opportunities. So this is where you find the scholarships I've talked about. You can see some in Oxford, Switzerland, Australia, Canada. There's also a video on how to make your CV. Also videos on statement of purpose or motivation statement, and how to get funded scholarships in the US and other parts of the world. So check this page and subscribe if you have not subscribed for more opportunities. So this is the type of opportunity that you may come across on my page, where I talk about, or I post about graduate assistantships in the US and Canada, where they are looking for example, this one, the professor is looking for students to come and work at the Oregon Institute of Technology, and it's in the field of pollinator ecology. So he's looking for a master's student. You can read all that, but in case you come across this, he says that okay, applications are due on a rolling basis, and it's the deadline is 31st July. And if you are interested, you should send one PDF file including your cover letter, CV, transcript, and names and contact address of 3 professors to his email address. Now if you see this, you don't just go on email and just write or attach the CV and stuff and then do this. Even if you're attaching a cover letter, which is more like a personal statement, in that case you have to add what we call the cold email, and that is why I'm doing this video. So if you see a position like this, I'm going to show you how to go by it. Now first, you have to get all the documents that he mentioned that you should submit. So if you get all those documents right and names and everything, then how do you contact him by email? So the best thing is to use what we call cold email, and I've talked about how to develop the cold email, what it is about and all that. Now I'm going to show you a sample of, or 2 samples of those cold emails, and also the responses that they got from the professors. Now the first one is from someone who has also gotten a position in the US now, and this is what he did. So I talked about the subject. So he wrote prospective student inquiry, so that is also fine. You could also write prospective student. If it's masters, you put masters. If it's PhD, you put PhD. That's it. Or you write prospective students, like this one, inquiry. It's also fine. And in the earlier part of the video, I told you that you should make sure to go and find the name of the professor. So in this case, the position I just showed you, the person put the name there, so you go straight to dear professor this, so use the last name. So in this case, say my name is this, and I recently graduated from KNUST with a BSc in chemistry, and I'm interested in pursuing a PhD, which led me to look into Missouri University of Science, blah blah blah. And I was really excited when I came across your work, since my main research interest is in line with what you are doing, blah blah blah. This interest blossomed from my undergraduate work, which was funded by this professor and my supervisor on this particular topic. So in this case, he has introduced himself, what he has and why he is contacted, and also what he did in his bachelor's. Now he says that, oh, I believe that my interests align with your work, and I would like to work in your lab, and particularly developing advanced materials with applications in water treatment and environmental sustainability. So he has already talked about what the professor is doing and how it links to his project. And I find the works produced in your lab interesting. So in this case, he has gone to read about the professor's publications, and then he knows a bit about the professor. And this is very good because it captures the professor's attention. So I think that you are doing an important and amazing job in contributing to the fight against human health risk and environmental pollution, which is a global concern. I was wondering whether you will be interested, or you'll be accepting new graduate students into your lab fall 2022. That is based on this. If so, I have attached my CV, research interest, transcripts, and an abstract of the work that I have submitted for publication for your consideration. Boom. That's it. You see, very concise, straightforward. The professor knows what you want. So immediately he said this, he got a reply and says, "Hi, this, you are welcome to apply to our doctoral programs, chemistry or environmental engineering or material science and engineering, and keep me posted on the progress of your application." So in this case, the professor has acknowledged receipt, gone through it, feel like it's somebody he can work with, and he said that, okay, I've seen your documents, but go ahead and do the maybe admission application by itself. And in that case, the professor will keep you in tap. So anytime they review the application, then the professor would know that, oh, this is a student who contacted me and I would like to work with him. And he even said that you should keep me posted on the progress. So in that case, if you have applied, you tell him if there's admission or whatever it is, you let him know you've already created a link like that, and that is how it works. So this is how it is, very easy there. And you can also do it if you see a position like this. Normally you don't need to rewrite the same thing, you have to also modify it to fit the occasion. In this case, it was contacting a professor who has not advertised anything, or just contacting him out of the blue. So if someone has advertised something, you write it that, oh, you saw his advertised position and you were interested because it's in line with what you are doing, and blah 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 and blah blah blah, and then that will also suffice. Now let's go and look at the second one that's I want to show you in this video. So this is the second one that another student of mine, or another mentee of mine, also sent out. And he says that, "Hello, Professor this. I am this. I hold a Bachelor's of Science in Agriculture Technology, from which I graduated with a GPA of this percent, with focus on crop science, and a diploma of agriculture technology, where I obtained a GPA of this from this university, completing 5 years of study in my area of specialization and all courses and all that. During my undergraduate, I had the privilege of delving in the field of blah blah blah." So he talked about what he did in the second part in his undergraduate, which developed his skills, and he also mentioned the things he investigated in his undergraduate thesis. "And I'm actively engaged in greenhouse vegetable production, focusing on improving irrigation and fertigation systems." So this is what he's doing. Now he finally wrote, "I have taken an enthusiastic interest in your research area at your lab." So he has done research about the professor. "In fall this, I would like to start my Master of Science degree program in crop science, and hopefully a PhD after that at Oregon State University." So that's where he's studying now. "I would like to join your lab and delve into your research areas under your supervision. I've attached a copy of my resume and transcript. After your perusal, please let me know of ongoing projects and opportunities available. I look forward to being your mentee." So in this case, he just wrote it straightforward, and this is it. So you can also craft something very similar to this and send to the professor. So after he sent that, this is the response he got. He says, "Thanks for your email. Are you available Wednesday, June 5th, between this and that, for an interview? I also have some time on Friday and on this." So the professor just got back and said, "Okay, I like your work. I like that you are doing this and this, and I think it falls in line with me. So are you up for an interview?" And this is already a big step, because he's already asking for an interview. That's in person. He's going to interview about what you've done. You mentioned that you did some crop science, you did some vegetable stuff. He's going to interview you based on the things you said, and get to know you and feel and see if you really fit his or her lab. So this is basically how it is, and this is how the person also got. After the interview, the professor was interested, and now he's in the US working under this professor. So this is basically how it works, and it's very straightforward. You can also do it, and if you follow everything that I've said in this video to the latter, I'm sure you will also be able to make it. So now that you have seen all the details that I was talking about, this is the time to follow me and share this video. Follow me on all social media platforms with the same name, Freeman Lami. You can find me on Facebook, TikTok, WhatsApp, and all that. You'll find all the links to all this page in my description, or in the description of this video, and share this as well to others. And watch the other videos if you're interested in crafting an academic CV, how to write a good statement of purpose or a motivation statement, and all other things that are needed for scholarship and study abroad opportunity application. Find them in the other videos. So please go ahead with this method, and I'm sure that you'll be able to get your. If you want to join my Telegram or WhatsApp page, Check in the description as well, and you'll find these links. I wish you all the best with your application. Ciao.